Wow, wow, wow. You see this protest in Burkina Faso and outside the country, Spain, everywhere protest. Let me shock you, tell you two, three major things that this Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso president has done that is shaking the whole world, that is making African leader, the whole world after this young man. The reason why his life is at risk, the reason why this young man needs to be protected. Do you understand? Because for these African leaders, it's like this man is exposing their corrupt practices, what they has not been able to do over the years. This young man is doing them within the space of 3 years in office. He's doing excellently well. That's why his life is being threatened every day. Protest everywhere. People are protesting that this is what we want. This is who we want. He must be protected. Some are protesting that no, we don't want him. Those are you understand that part. Now let me shock you what this young man has done of recently. I did one video before. I'll add that to this list now. Number one is the commencement of $150 to undergraduates. You didn't hear me. Commencement of $150 to undergraduates. In our minimum wage is not even $1 or to $150. Our minimum wage as today, the rate of dollar today is about $45 to $50. Our minimum wage for those people who have graduated already working, minimum wage is between $45 to $50. But this young man, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has commenced the paying of $150 to undergraduate. That is to say, as a student, you are studying, the government, Ibrahim Traore, will be paying you $150 for you to go to school, relax, so that you can focus on your education. So you can focus, you will not be thinking of how to look after yourself, where to get money to pay your fees, where to get money to look after yourself, where to see money to eat, buy handouts, all those things. You have to focus on your education, read and understand. So if you are that kind of person, why won't you know the book now? Why you not would sabi book now? Why would you not go to school? What are you going to be thinking about? What is that business you will be thinking of that will make you not to go to school? Think about it. Commencement of $150 for undergraduate to go to school. Go and learn. I will be paying you $150. Maintain yourself. Do everything you want to do. Wow. That's why these African leaders are against him, because he's exposing their corrupt practices, what they have not been able to do. Asking questions. How are you doing it? Why are you doing this? Who sent you? No, we don't ask you to do this. You are disgracing Africa for doing the right thing, because African leaders, as for me, they are allergic to good things. When they see somebody doing good, they come after the person. And meanwhile, in our own case, our government has failed. Then I will have to say this permits me to also include our religious leaders, because they are also the problem of this country. Because when you run to the government has failed. Okay, you say, okay, what should I do? You go to the fathers of faith, religious leaders. Those ones, they are in their body. They are even worse, because asking you to pay tithe and offering to get what this young man is doing. That, hey, as a student, you need to pay your tithe. Consistent paying your tithe will enables you to get a job when you graduate. After you graduated, after you finish your school, you pay your tithe, you get a job, you do this, you do that. For the little penny, little money being given to them to pay their school fees, look after them. Say, inside, our religion leaders are still taxing them to pay tithe, 10% of that. If you did not pay, you offend God for them. Meanwhile, Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso is full of Muslim. Muslim is not paying tithe and offering the way we are paying here. I'm not saying you should not pay money to God. I'm not saying those people, they don't pay, but our is too much. Right? Now, they're asking you, you will not hear something like, one pastor will say, a prophecy. I remember one young man, when he was a student, it's also and so school. When he was a student, he used to pay his tithes with the little money given to him by his parents to pay his school fees and all those things. But he knows what he was doing. Out of that money, he was still paying his 10%. He was still paying his 10%. Guess what? After he graduated, before you know, different companies were calling him for jobs. He get a job. Different companies, he was already have jobs lined up, waiting for him. He was there to make decisions of where to go, who to work for. Branta lies. Then, he will not ask you, tithe. Tell your neighbor, pay your tithe. Pay your tithe. You see all the members who believes that God will truly come and pay your tithe, all those things. At the end of the day, when you graduated, you realize that there is no even company, talk less of job. If there is no company, where are you going to work? Who is going to call you for the job? So those people, they are not paying. Then secondly is the free education. Free education in Burkina Faso from primary, I think to tertiary institution, or even if it is secondary, safe, leave tertiary out of this. From primary to secondary, even if he has to collect money from tertiary, which we understand, free. Free, and remember, he's still paying you as undergraduate $150. Probably when you are above 18, now you are above 17 or 18, you are undergraduate, he'll be paying you $150. That's number 2. Then thirdly, is free of charge. As in, if you want to give birth, free of charge to bring babies to life is free. Why should you pay money to bring life to this world? Ibrahim Traore. That's what he said. Walk into this government hospital and deliver your baby like an Hebrew woman, free of charge. You don't have to pay any dime for bringing child to this world. You don't have to pay. That he could remember what his mom went through when he was about to give birth to him. The mom could not afford to pay the cost of delivery. At that time, it was only God who saved him. Now he has the opportunity. He wouldn't want anybody to go through that pain of not affording to pay the hospital bills. So he decided to make deliveries at every government hospital free of charge. Can you imagine? That's where you see all the government or African leaders are against him, including the Western world are against him, because this man has broken the law. He has broken the law. All the African leaders now, theory. You see protests here and there. There was a protest in Ghana, both protests, Burkina Faso, protests in France. Different countries are protesting. So are being paid to do so, to protest against him, that they should remove him. But this man is also the compliance or the strengthening of the military rules in Burkina Faso. If everything, I just picked it. I don't even know they want to call major. The major thing he has done. I just picked these 3 things because he has done a lot too. A lot. I don't know they want to call as major, but these 3 very important. $150 paying to undergraduate, free education, free delivery. If you if you want to give birth, you walk into government hospital, deliver your baby like a Hebrew woman, free of charge. You don't have to pay nobody, no dime pay for it. So why we see a lot of our Africa countries, in Nigeria country here, the case is in reverse. If you don't have money to deposit before, it's a problem. We see a lot of people lost their life because they are not afford to pay. Because not even some of them do know. It's not as if they don't even have the money. They have the money because our hospital, our facility, everything is dead. It's not helping. You see, I bet you already take your flowers. You are trying. Disgrace these African leaders. Disgrace them more. Disgrace them more. Give them sleepless nights. Yes, as we speak now, is the best in Africa, and is the youngest, is the best, the working president. Appreciate this video.